Hello and welcome to Nana's Crafty Home. My name is Tanya. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to crochet the Somebody Loves You basket. This great basket is perfect for Easter, and this project works up really quickly in a super bulky yarn. This is a Karen Sprinkles cake, but my original pattern called for the Karen Chunky Cakes, which is a super bulky size 6 yarn, and you get a really good size basket. However, for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using some medium worsted weight yarn, which will give us a smaller size basket in the end. This Red Heart with Love is a size medium worsted 4-weight yarn, and I'm going to be using a size J hook, and you can use any yarn that you'd like for this project. Of course, the smaller the yarn, the smaller the basket. The bigger the yarn, the bigger the basket. You could also double up your worsted weight yarn to get closer to a bulky size weight yarn if you'd like. For my basket, I'm going to be using 2 safety eyes and a nose for his face. And you're also going to need a little pom-pom for the bottom of your bunny. You could also use some small buttons for the eyes and the nose if you'd prefer, or you could go ahead and embroider those on. So let's go ahead and get started. This basket is worked from the bottom up, so we start with the bottom of the basket, and you can either chain 3 or make a magic circle. I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then if you were making the magic circle, you would work 9 double crochets in your magic circle, but I'm going to go ahead and work 9 double crochets in that 3rd chain from the hook. So there's 1, 8, and 9. Those skip chains at the beginning are going to count as my first stitch, so you're going to have a total of 10 stitches, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain, and you're going to start round 2 by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch, so at the base of that chain 3, and then we're going to go ahead and work 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So there's 1, 2, and continue on 2 double crochets in each stitch, and you'll have a total of 20 stitches at the end of round 2. So at the end of round 2, I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, which counts as a stitch, chain 3 for the beginning of round 3, and double crochet in that same stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next, and we're just going to be repeating that sequence all the way around. So 2 in the next and 1 in the next. So at the end of round 3, I'm going to have 30 stitches for my stitch count. Slip stitch at the top of that chain 3, chain 3, double crochet in that same stitch, base of that chain 3, 1 double crochet in the next 2, and 2 double crochets in the next, 1 double crochet in the next 2, and just continue repeating that sequence around. So at the end of round 4, you're going to have 40 stitches. Slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, chain 3 for round 5, double crochet in that same stitch, double crochet in the next 3 stitches, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 double crochet in the next 3, and continue repeating that around. So at the end of round 5, you're going to have 50 stitches, slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, and then chain 3 for round 6, double crochet in that same stitch, double crochet in the next 4, and then 2 double crochets in the next, and 1 double crochet in the next 4, and continue repeating that sequence around. So at the end of round 6, you're going to have a total of 60 stitches, slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, and now we're going to be working in the back loops only. We're going to begin working on the sides of our basket. So we're going to go ahead for round 7 and chain 3. And again, that's going to count as my first stitch. And I'm going to work a double crochet, 1 double crochet in each stitch. And I'm going to be working those in the back loop only. So here's both loops, here at the top, only the back loop. So inserting your hook under that back loop and finishing your double crochet. Back loop only, double crochet. And this will begin to make the sides come up because I'm not increasing at all for this round. It will make this bottom area flat, and then this will start coming up the sides because I'm not increasing at all. So just continue on working a double crochet in the back loop only of each stitch around. So at the end of round 7, you're going to have 60 stitches, and you're going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 from the beginning, and the stitch count now will remain the same for the remainder of your basket. You will have 60 stitches throughout the main part of your basket. And now we're ready to move on to the front and back post double crochets on the sides of your basket. You can see here by working that one round without increases, I have formed the bottom of my basket, and I'm now working up the sides. So for round 8, I'm going to chain 2. That chain 2 is not going to count as a stitch, and I'm going to work a front post double crochet in the stitch just below my chain 2. So that stitch below my chain 2 is actually that chain 3 from my previous round. And so I'm going to work a front post double crochet around that stitch. So yarning over, inserting my hook from the front to the back, and then around that stitch coming out the other side, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 2, and yarning over and pulling through 2 to complete my double crochet. So I've completed a front post double crochet. Now I'm going to work a back post double crochet in the next stitch. So in this next stitch, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to yarn over and come from behind. So I'm going to insert my hook from behind that stitch, going around the front and to the back on the other side, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through 2. Front post double crochet around the next stitch, back post double crochet around the next, front post around the next, back post around the next. And just continue repeating that all the way around. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So when I get to the end of round 8, I'm going to slip stitch join to that first stitch. And for rounds 9 through 15, I'm going to repeat round 8 by chaining 2, working a front post double crochet around that stitch below, back post double crochet around the next stitch. So basically you're just working a front post double crochet around a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet around a back post double crochet. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around, and you're going to be repeating that all the way through round 15. So we finished our rounds of front and back post. I'm going to be working 1 round of single crochet. So I'm going to chain 1, single crochet in each stitch around, just to give a little extra stability to the top of your basket. So once we've completed that round of single crochet, we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch of that round, fasten off, and weave in all of our ends. So now we're going to go ahead and mark off our stitches for where we're going to be placing our bottom and face. So you're going to need some stitch markers. There's a total of 60 stitches around the top of your basket. Your face and bottom are going to take up 15 stitches apiece, and you will have 15 stitches unworked on both sides of those panels. So I have the back of the basket here, and this is where I was doing that join at the end of each round. So I kind of want that at the back of my basket, evenly centered where the bottom is. So I'm going to count from here, let's say. So that bottom panel is going to be 15 stitches, so I'm counting over 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I'm going to skip 15 stitches, grab another stitch marker. That's my first or my last stitch for the panel. So skipping 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So my face is going to start here. So the face panel will be a total of 15 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And I'm going to place a stitch marker there. And then I will have a total of 15 stitches after my face panel that will not be worked in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now I'm ready to begin working those panels on the top of my basket. And so I'm going to join my yarn into that stitch marker to work my front panel. And I'm working in the back loops only for this round or this row, and I'm going to chain 1 and work a single crochet in that same stitch and then in the next 14 stitches. So for a total of 15 stitches, I'm working a single crochet in the back loop only. So you're going to have a total of 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we're going to turn, we're going to leave those stitches unworked, and we're going to turn. We're now working in turned rows and chain 1. We're now going to be working in both loops, and I'm going to single crochet in each stitch to the end. So 15 stitches of single crochet. So I'm going to turn for row 3, chain 1, and I'm going to work a single crochet 2 together. So I'm going to be working a single crochet decrease, inserting my hook into that first stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, inserting my hook into the next stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, then yarning over and pulling through all 3 loops, and I've worked a single crochet 2 together. Now I'm going to be working a single crochet in each stitch to the last 2 stitches of this row. So 1 single crochet in each stitch to the last 2. In the last 2 stitches, you're going to work another decrease, another single crochet 2 together, and you've decreased your stitch count by 2, so you'll have a total of 13 stitches. For rows 4 through 7, you're going to repeat that last row. So single crochet 2 together at the beginning, single crochet in each stitch to the last 2, single crochet 2 together. At the end of round 7, you're going to have a total of 5 stitches. So at the end of round 7, I have a total of 5 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off, and I'm going to repeat those instructions for the other panel. So I'm going to go over to my 2 stitch markers, leaving 15 stitches unworked between, and work another panel on the other side. I have finished that second panel. We're going to go ahead and now work a round of single crochet evenly around the outside edge of the basket. So I'm just going to work around this outside edge as evenly as possible around those panels and then along the top edge of that basket. Just to finish it off a little bit, make it look a little more professional. So just continue working a round of single crochet around the whole top edge of the basket, including your panels. So I've worked a round of single crochet all the way around the top edge of the basket. I'm ready to move on to making my strap and my ears. So for my strap, and I'm going to leave a nice long tail for sewing that strap to one end of the inside of the panel. And I'm going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Double crochet in the third chain from the hook and in each chain across, and you're going to have a total of 11 double crochet stitches. So double crochet in the remaining chains. So at the end of row 1, turn, and for row 2, chain 3 and double crochet in each stitch. And again, you're going to have 11 stitches at the end of this row. So when we get to the end of that row, I'm going to double crochet in the top of those skipped chains, fasten off, leaving a nice long tail again for sewing to the other side of one of the panels. And now we're going to work on the ears. So you're going to make 2, and we're going to start by chaining 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Half double crochet in the next 2 chains. So half double crochet in the next chain, half double crochet in the next, double crochet in the next chain, half double crochet in the next two, so half double crochet in that next chain, half double crochet in the next, and then single crochet in the last chain, and then chain one, and we're going to work a single crochet in these unused loops from our chain. So we're going to just rotate our work slightly and single crochet in each of these unused loops. So I'm going to be working a single crochet in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now I'm going to single crochet to the very first stitch that I made of this round. For round 2, chain 1, single crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, slip stitch to that chain 1. And now fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing your ear to the basket. And you're going to repeat those instructions for your second ear. So now we're ready for assembly. I have my ears and my strap, my safety eyes and nose with the backings. You could go ahead if you wanted to and just get 3 little buttons to put here instead if you don't have the safety eyes and nose, or you could just go ahead and embroider if you wanted to go ahead and do that as well. So I have my safety eyes and I'm just going to see where I want to place these and where they're going to look the best. And I want them evenly spaced. Not quite evenly spaced here. And then the ears will go here, up above. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and put the backing on. Keep those in place. Now I'm going to sew my ears to the top of that face panel. So probably about like that. And then sewing on the back side, just going to secure those ears on there. And what I will generally do is I will go ahead and sew both of them without weaving in ends. So I'll just go ahead and kind of place them here, do a few sweeps of my needle just in case I'm not happy with where I place them. And then once I'm happy, I'll go in and finish securing and weaving in the ends. So that looks good. Just nothing worse than weaving in those ends and then looking at it and going, you know, I don't really like that. And then you have to try and figure out, where can I cut this so that I'm not cutting the basket? All right, so without weaving in that end, I am pretty happy with how that has turned out. So now I can go ahead and finish weaving in those ends, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and sew on my pom-pom, and that's going to go on the back panel like this, and isn't that cute? You don't have to use a pom-pom. You don't have to use a faux fur one. You could make one out of yarn, maybe out of a contrasting color. Maybe a pink little yarn pom-pom would look great. Little DIY there. Maybe you want a smaller pom-pom than this one. And all I'm doing here is I've got a long length of yarn on my needle, and this pom-pom has one of those handy dandy little loops. Gotta find the loop, and once you find the loop, you can then evenly space it here, and I'm going to sew that to the back of my panel here, inserting my hook through the back end and then through the loop, leaving enough end to secure it, weave it in, and just sew it into place. So I'll make several passes through, picking up that loop on that pom-pom. Then it's nice and secure. So I like where that is. Once you're happy with how secure your pom-pom is, you're just going to weave in your ends back here and make sure that pom-pom doesn't come off. So now I'm ready to attach my strap, and that strap is going to be attached between the two panels, the front and the back panel. On the front side, on the front face, we're going to be attaching it on the back side or the wrong side between the ears, using that long length of yarn. So just on this back side, between the ears, secure that strap. And you can see I'm not going all the way through to the front side. I don't want to make the front side of my panel messy, so I'm just keeping all my stitches to the back side. And again, I'm not going to weave in that end until I'm completely satisfied. And now I'm going to attach that strap on the back side, on the wrong side of the bunny bottom. So with that long length of yarn that I have, evenly spaced from the edges, and just repeat. This is going to be a little more awkward because that is a short strap. And then take a look and see if you're happy with that. And that looks pretty good. Nice little handle for the kitties to hold onto their basket. It also keeps your panels kind of together, so they won't flop down quite as easily. But if you're having trouble with these panels flopping down, you could always put some plastic canvas on the back side and just sew that to the inside of your basket, just to give that a little more stability. But that short strap really does help keep those panels more sturdy than they would be without it. So plus it's handy because the kids can just hold on to that as they carry it. So how cute. This pom-pom's a little big for this basket. Since I made it in worsted weight, I probably would go with the smaller pom-pom for this. But it's the smallest pom-pom I had on hand, so I just wanted to show you what it would look like and how to attach it yourself. But to do it again, I probably would go with a little bit of a smaller pom-pom if I could get my hands on one. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for being with me. As always, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss a new video. Thanks everyone. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.